Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. It's a great pleasure to be here with you today to give you some elements, some thoughts about this negotiation. It's clear it is an important negotiation for Andorra, San Marino, and Monaco. It is also quite important negotiation for the EU because it is about market access. It is about the EU internal market, and we need to build a strong relationship between the EU and the small-sized country for many reasons. First, we share the same values of democracy, human rights. It's very important that together we continue to build our societies on these common values that we share. It's the way we live, the way that we have lived in the past, and the importance that in multilateral arena we can be together to assert our strong positions on human rights, human values, the democracy. That's something that we have in common with the three countries, and we are very pleased that this agreement. It's of course a lot about the economy. But also it's about these values that we want to share and to continue to make them flourish in the world. That's extremely important. It was about 20 years ago that the single market started, and we have seen that it was in 1992, and we have seen that in 25 years the single market, the EU internal market, has changed the way Europeans are living. It has changed the way we travel, the way we work, the way we do business in Europe, the way we learn together with Erasmus project, the way we see our friends from the 28 EU member states, the way we are able to prosper and to build a strong economy. Today, as you know, European Union is the first global trade power in the world, and we understand very well that for Andorra, it is a unique opportunity to have access to this big market and to have all the best opportunities to develop further the great potential that this economy has. So it is very important that in this project we have in common, we understand that it is about opening up new opportunities for the Andorran economy, but also for the EU economies, for the neighbors, for the citizen and economic operators in Madrid, in Spain, in France, and in other countries to benefit of this market, and for Andorra market to benefit of the neighboring countries. So, what are we doing? Why is it so important to have this agreement in place? And it has already been explained by Minister Saboya, and I would like to give the EU's appreciation for the negotiating team that Andorra has put in place under the leadership of Minister Saboya, under the leadership of Ambassador Ubach. We are working very well in these negotiations. It's sometimes quite complex, and you can imagine that sometimes it is extremely complex and difficult negotiations. Maybe I can give you some confidence about the way it works. Sometimes it is so complex that we might take some tough position during the meetings, and clearly sometimes it's not so easy. But at least we have strong interest to defend on the EU side, on the Andorran side, and I can tell you that on the Andorran side also. They are our friends, but also I can tell you that they have quite clear objectives on what they want to achieve in these negotiations. They have clear interest to defend, and this is what also what we can say. This is the beauty of negotiations, that we have to find a way to reconcile something which might at the start seems a lot of divergence, but at the end, we are totally confident that we will we will narrow this difference further and further, and we'll bridge the gap and find a solution. I hope as soon as possible. We'll see if it's possible to negotiate during the mandate of the European Commission. So until surely before the end of 2019, that's something which is possible. We think that we have to also to think about objectives. When is it possible to conclude these negotiations? At least on the EU side, we will continue to make all the efforts to find an agreement which is beneficial for Andorra and also beneficial for the EU countries. It is something which should allow the Andorran economy to get better access to the EU market. That's really the main objective of these negotiations. And to enter a little bit into the technique of what we are doing, we have opened these negotiations about 2 years ago. It was in March 2015 when the three ministers had a meeting with the High Representative, Vice President of the Commission, Ms. Mogherini, to open the negotiations. So since then, we had already many meetings, and what we are negotiating first is a framework agreement with the three countries together. So with the three countries, we have to negotiate the common principles of how to make this agreement work. So this is what we named the institutional title of the agreement. And after, we have the four freedoms: free movement of goods, services, capital, and persons. And there will be also other issues which have a general interest for the three countries and the EU. And after that, there are the country protocols. And in the country protocols, of course, it is where all the parameters that we need to negotiate with Andorra will be decided. We have the common principle which are the same for the three countries and the EU, but the parameters, how to really calibrate this access of Andorra to the EU internal market will be defined in the country protocols. So one of the main issue we have already agreed upon in the negotiations, in the institutional part of the negotiation, it's about the dynamic takeover of the EU acquis. What does this mean, this jargon? This jargon means that in the future, in the four freedoms, Andorra will take over the EU legislation. It will do it in the future, and we have already defined the mechanism to have this in place, so that at least we have the homogeneity of the working of the EU internal market. And also, Andorra will have to take over the past acquis, so what has been in place since the 25 years of the existence of the EU internal market. So that's a lot of work, but also it's a lot of benefit, because you can imagine that in the economy of the future, we can read in the press, for instance, that maybe there are 50% of the jobs of the works which will come in 20 years that are not yet known today. And so for that, we have to be prepared. We need to have the legislation in place. And why do you think that Andorra needs to have a legislation which will be different to the legislation which will be decided in the EU? There is no reason to think that there is a certain specificity in Andorra which justified to have different legislation. So at least this is why it is important to work together to define this legislation in common. It will be possible with meetings to prepare this legislation, what we call decision shaping. Andorra will be associated to that. And so we can, of course, in the first phase, For Andorra, it is to take over the past legislation, but in the future also it will be possible for Andorra to build together what is our common future. This is part of this institutional title that we are negotiating. We have, for instance, agreed also with Andorra, Monaco, and San Marino that in case of serious economic or social or environmental difficulties that could occur because of the implementation of the agreement, and this is something which is legitimate. We can imagine that because of a certain liberty, it might have negative effect on Andorra. In that case, of course, it will be possible for Andorra to take protective measures for a certain period, so at least to mitigate the effects of the implementation of the agreement. Minister Saboya has explained the role of the European Court of Justice. This is important that we continue in the negotiation for the EU. It is extremely important, and we share globally this objective with Andorra. Also, is that as it is about the EU law, we need to have a common interpretation of the EU law. And the only arbitrator that we have in Europe about the EU law is, of course, the European Court of Justice. So this is why we have agreed, at least globally, even if not all the details, to have the European Court of Justice to give a ruling in case of divergence of interpretation on the implementation of some aspects of the agreement. That's something that we have already agreed, but at the same time, it will be for Andorra and the EU together to decide on how to implement this ruling of the ECJ. So that means that, in fact, the ECJ will give a ruling which will be binding, but together, Andorra and the EU will decide how to implement it. And even we have been even further than that, and we will examine next time we are in negotiation the way to take also some other mechanism. So I cannot tell more than that today, but at least we have built in the negotiation a lot of flexibility to take account of the concern which have been expressed by Andorra. But so this is the institutional title of the agreement. So this is what we could say it is the engine of how this agreement will work in the future. And now we are starting to negotiate the four freedoms. On the free movement of goods, we have already made quite a good progress. We know, of course, the sensitivity in Andorra about chapters 1 to 24, chapters of the agriculture, and notably chapter 24 of tobacco. We understand this sensitivity, and we understand that we need to take and to agree on special provisions to make sure that at least this agreement will allow to accompany the process, this transition from in this economy, so for this economy to be more diversified in the future. So this is something which, of course, the EU will take due considerations to find a solution which is well adapted to the economic situation of today in Andorra. We have also started to negotiate the title on the free movement of services. This is also something which is quite complex, and it will take some time. But at least on that, we think that we have good prospect to continue to make progress in the coming negotiating rounds, notably on the right of establishment, and also we will continue with the other chapters of the negotiation. So, what I can say is that to conclude my presentation, which I hope has not been too technical. This agreement, of course, and when you look about the recent white paper of the Commission of President Juncker on the future of Europe, we realize, and you will understand very well, that with this association agreement, Andorra will be at the heart of Europe. We will have a relationship, a partnership, which will be based on the acquis of the EU internal market, which is and which remains the core of the European Union today. When you look at the 5 options which have been presented by President Juncker in the white paper, the internal market is always at the center. And so what we can say today is that Andorra, with the 28 member states today, Andorra, Monaco, and San Marino, will be at the center of Europe, with also the countries of the European Economic Area, with Liechtenstein, Iceland, and Norway. But this being said, it is based on it will be based on a special agreement that we are negotiating today. So that means that we have the possibility to have the core as on the functioning of the EU internal market, but at the same time to have additional components. For instance, if we want to have specific provisions on research for Andorra to benefit of some programs on research, maybe it would be possible to have an additional annex on research. Of course, there will be Erasmus exchange of students. That's something which is important to have. So it's really an agreement which we are also totally convinced, as has been presented by Minister Saboya, is that it is an agreement which will accompany the transformation of Andorran economy and to make our individuals, to make our economic operators from Andorra and from the EU member states even closer in the future. Thank you very much.